I was interested in your piece, if we move on now to the AUKUS deal. You wrote an opinion piece in The Australian today about the fact that it's looking, basically to give a snapshot, you believe it's looking more uncertain, but is that largely because, if you can tell our viewers, is that largely because of your assessment that US lawmakers are increasingly unwilling to back a sharing of their technology? Is that what underpins your view?
Not a sharing of their technology. That is a concern as well. But the bigger concern is that the US seems to be headed for a reduction, not an increase, in the number of their nuclear submarines. They're hoping to get the number up to, variously reported, as 61 or 64. But because of workforce shortages, a problem not easily overcome, it's not a matter of cash, they could be sinking back from 49 to 45 nuclear subs. Now, given that they're in a race over ship numbers or ship tonnages with China, I think that in a year or a couple of years' time, when the next president, the president quite possibly after Biden, it could be that far off if you assume Biden's going to get another term, will be very reluctant and easily persuaded by his or her Secretary of Defence that America simply cannot afford to peel off 2, 3, even let alone 5 submarines to sell to Australia. They would see it as America going backwards in a race against China for nuclear submarine numbers. So I just think it was striking that 3 days after the ALP National Conference had a discussion on the matter, that a report appeared in the Australian media that Republican lawmakers had commissioned a report that highlighted the dangers of AUKUS, and that one commentator was talking on Sky, talking about American lawmakers jeopardising, that was her verb, jeopardising the AUKUS deal. Now, this is a multi-decade deal. It's got a long way to run. To think that months into it, we can see America hasn't been persuaded. So I just see it coming rather unravelled a little quickly. And then there are other difficulties like the extraordinary $500 billion, when French submarines, as Malcolm Turnbull would be very ready to confirm, were going to give us lethal protection for at most 90 billion. 90 billion compared to the astonishing, eye-watering, hard to visualise sum of $500 billion.
I've only got about 30 seconds left, but given the Albanese government's been all in on this, is there any viable prospect of it pulling its support?
Very, very hard to see, except that it's got this aroma of something that's about to cave in on itself, fall in on itself. You see, if America says we can't sell you those subs, but would you settle for more frequent visits by ours, that's a total loss of sovereignty. It means we've lost our sovereign submarine capacity that we've had since the Oberon class in the early 60s. It means we've got the Collins class, which were designed in 1987. We've got to depend on them. So much for having a security crisis in the waters to our north.
Bob Carr, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
My pleasure.